Welcome to the favorites, the film room exclusive YouTube video. I am Chad Millman. I am joined by my BFF, my companion, my compadre, Simon Hunter. This is the video. You cannot get it in the podcast. You're only going to get it by watching this on YouTube, where Simon and I are going to break down the play of certain players on teams that we've been betting, that we might be betting going forward, and explain why we like what these guys are doing and how it's influencing what we're thinking in the weeks to come. Simon, you're going to go first. Tell me who you got and what you're talking about.
Chad, I'm going with Josh Dobbs. I just wanted to show and just talk about the confidence he's playing with right now, because he is not as good as his record's showing right now, right? That's the thing I'm trying to get into people's head, where he is a really gifted athlete, but his weakness, the reason he's on, a journeyman, he's been on so many different teams, is his throwing ability. He's just not a good thrower. He doesn't have great accuracy. He's not consistent. But his strength, which we're going to highlight here coming up, are his legs. And that's what's making it so hard to really quantify what he's doing right now. And it's just, he's doing things that only a few quarterbacks are doing in the league, which is he has confidence and poise in the pocket, and he knows when to run and when to pass it. I just wanted to highlight this first play here. I know it's a nothing play to a lot of people. It's like, what, he just picked up a first down. It's not even a touchdown. But it just highlights to me how comfortable he is right now in the pocket, which you can't coach. Like, this is after playing years in the league, playing on different teams. He really has hit that button of, I just don't care. I'm going to play within myself. And if I get sacked, I get sacked. But he's so confident. His movement in the pocket in this play is incredible. And as soon as that defender steps up, this is such a veteran savvy play. He dumps it right off to the tight end. And that's what I loved in this play so much. It's like he's comfortable in the pocket, body's flying all around him. He stays in rhythm, makes a move to the outside of the pocket, sees the defender step up, then it's a quick dump out. It's like, these are kind of things that they didn't have in a Kirk Cousins type, right? This is a really unique skill set that only a couple guys have, like Lamar Jackson and him, where they can move and be so fluent in the pocket and then make the right read, which, again, I just love in this little highlight here, what this highlights.
Yeah, look, Dobbs is what he did in Arizona, even though he only won one game. And then going to Minnesota and winning a game in dramatic fashion as a backup who came in after the starter was hurt, and then as a starter, he's 2-9 as a starter in his career. That's what makes all this love so amazing. I mean, the guy is the freaking bio for the NFL's Twitter /X handle right now. And it makes it really interesting to think about how we're going to bet Josh Dobbs, especially this coming weekend, especially since I am going to focus on the opposing quarterback, Russell Wilson of the Denver Broncos.
We got one more play to show.
Oh,
this was just another one where I wanted to highlight.
I was so excited.
Yeah, I just want to show him in the red zone. Again, you can see why I want to bring this up, just because everyone's talking about him right now. And I did want to highlight him because me and Chad are betting against him this week. And it's for a good reason. It's because, you have to sell high at some point. But again, this play right here just shows how incredibly skilled he is as a runner and his pocket presence, where he doesn't know all the plays, right? We already knew that from the get-go. A lot of the times they've scored this year, like since he's taken over, are on broken plays. And this is a broken play. Steps up in the pocket. They have a QB spy on him. He breaks it in. So the QB spy has to step up and he gets him on an angle, and then he just goes right around him. And it's, again, there's like 5 or 6 guys in the entire league that can do these kind of moves. And, Dobbs just been doubted because his arm isn't up to NFL standards. But what he's doing with his legs and what Kevin's writing up offensively for him, it's working. Like, it is crazy against the Saints. Such a good defense. Like, right there, I love that move where he baited the defender step up.
Yeah,
and he's just a vet. Like, that's such a veteran savvy move of, he knew the guy would bite and he would just go right around him, run in. So, we wanted to give Dobbs his flowers just because me and Chad are about to fade the guy.
I was going to say, we don't know how long it's going to last. Hopefully it doesn't even last into this weekend, but boy, he's been a phenomenal story. And
amazing.
Worthy of the examination. Don't forget, Simon and I doing a live show. You're all invited. We want you all to be there. Nothing could be more fun, more exciting for us than to be able to connect with everybody who listens to the show, get to bet with everybody who listens to the show. Come bet with us, come listen. December 3rd. You can RSVP by checking out the link in the description here on the YouTube page and in the podcast episode page. Go to eventbrite.com, search the Favorites Podcast for more info to RSVP. The Shepherd and the Knucklehead, December 3rd, live show, Sunday night, 7:30 episode. Doors open at 4, free entry, free drinks, RSVP. All right, Simon, as I said, we're going to talk about Russell Wilson because he has been a very sneaky, very quiet success story for the Broncos over the past month. Remember early in the year where you and I were all over Russell Wilson and Sean Payton and the Denver Broncos, and we bet their season win total over 8.5. And we're like, we love this team. We love what Sean Payton is going to be able to do. Then what happened? Well, this is what happened. Hutton, let's run this first one, right? So this is Russell Wilson against the Jets. I think it was week 5.
And we had Denver.
And the Jets won this game. This was the game clinching play. Russell Wilson, he looked old. He looked confused. He runs out of the pocket and essentially he causes his own fumble. And like to compound the misery, he causes his own fumble. And then it's picked up and run back for a touchdown in a way that ends the game for the Broncos. This was, to me, it would have been the epitome for how bad Russell Wilson was playing. He was getting to the line of scrimmage. He looked like he was struggling to read defenses. He was taking a long time to make decisions, which led to plays like this, where he forced his own fumble. But that was not the low point. We thought, how could it get worse for Russell Wilson? Hutton, let's go to the next play. Because for us, the low point was actually the following week against the Chiefs. Russell Wilson, this was a pick six, not a pick six, but it was an interception. And in that game, Russell Wilson, the Broncos lose. Russell Wilson threw for less than 100 yards, 2 picks. He was truly terrible. After that, their defense had started to play better. So all of the talk early in the season about how bad the Chiefs defense was gone because they'd been playing well. The headlines in Denver that week were, how can we get out of Russell Wilson's contract and trade him? But Simon, Hutton, we can cue up the next play. Because the next week, they had a little bit of time off from that Thursday game against the Chiefs. A miracle happened. Sean Payton has done, I think, as good an in-season coaching job as he's ever done, including the year the Saints won the Super Bowl. They fixed the defense, but more importantly, they fixed Russ. And what they did was they put him in a position, a couple different things to me. They got him to the line of scrimmage much faster. So all of a sudden, it wasn't the play clock is below 10 and he has to read a defense and then make adjustments and then get into a position where he can't really do anything. He actually was able to move the offense into the right position and put himself in a much more comfortable position to make decisions. That's what this whole thing is about. This play here, right? This was at the end of the first quarter. 2nd and 1. He gets the snap and looks over the field, immediately says, I don't have what I want. Let me throw it to my out. Throws it to the right side. Easy gain. They pick up the first down, right? It's not flashy. It's like you just said with Josh Dobbs. It's not the headline-making play, but it's the play that doesn't lose them yardage, does then put them in a bad position early in the game. It's just the play that he's supposed to do to get a couple of yards to get a first down. Let's go to the next one, Hutton, because this next one is even better, right? We talk about the decision-making in the pocket. Look at this right here. He sees a sea of green in front of him. He doesn't try to stand back in the pocket. He doesn't try to scramble outside. He doesn't try to wait for guys to get open. He read the defense perfectly, understood the coverage, had a wide open opportunity to scramble in front of him, sprints forward for 10 yards. First down, Broncos. He did that throughout the entire game. Now, they got lucky to win the game, but dude, he was so efficient in this game. If they had lost that game, it wouldn't have been because of Russell Wilson, because Sean Payton has him playing so much better.
Yeah, and it definitely does look like Russ is finally comfortable in the Sean Payton offense. I think that is definitely something that someone brought up to me that we kind of overlooked, right? That he had a month to learn it during the summer. I mean, you had the offseason, but really to get into it, you had the summer. But they're not really doing everything, right? Because they have so many guys on the team that aren't going to be there. Sean Payton said they're not really going to show them everything. So really, it all started, before week 1. So he had a couple weeks, and you saw that the growing pains for this offense.
Yeah.
But even when you went back and look, he wasn't really throwing the ball away. He had those bad fumbles that you highlighted, one of the worst fumbles he had all season, but he wasn't really throwing interceptions. And it was him just playing too timid. And now that he does seem comfortable and the defense has finally come around. I mean, in the last couple of weeks, the Denver defense has been incredible. It's all there for Denver. What we saw and talked about, what they could be this summer, it's starting to come together, right? So they're a team that even if it doesn't work out totally this year, if they keep all the same pieces there, we're going to love him next year, right? It'll be a full year under his belt of the Sean Payton offense. And I think what you're talking about right now, it's what's highlighted right now. Russ has more confidence. He still takes the bad sacks like Russ will do. It's who he is, right? Every now and then he'll hold on to it for too long. But like you said, in these crucial downs, he's making the quick reads, and that's what was missing in the Sean Payton offense. You don't need to always throw the deep ball. And I think Russ is learning that. He can take the check down, live for the next down, which is what he needed to learn.
Yeah, I think the key has been that they get him to the line of scrimmage sooner. That sort of 10-second mark seems to be where the trouble begins. And if he can get there before 10 seconds and read the defense and make his adjustments and snap it sooner, that's when he's finding more success. By the way, the last 3 games, all Broncos wins, 3-0. So now they're 4-5. 2 of those wins against the Chiefs and the Bills. Russ is completing 72% of his passes, 6 touchdowns, no picks on the year. 18 touchdown passes, second most in the NFL behind Tua. 4 picks, second fewest in the NFL. According to Pro Football Focus, he's the 7th best quarterback against pressure in the NFL right now. It is no coincidence, Simon, that our Broncos over 8.5 wins bet is back in play, including this weekend, where we like him at -2 against the Minnesota Vikings.